Shout out Q. Shout out Q.
Jaliah Jackson joining me after the 1-point victory for the Lady Pioneers. Can you sort of take me through those last couple of moments, crucial free throws, obviously not making them, but the support your teammates had in you? They were behind you, make or miss in that situation. How huge is that for you to have that camaraderie with your teammates?
Oh, it's big. I feel like support is the best thing that you can have during a game, and my team supporting me, miss or make, and they were still there by my side. It really helped me a lot in focus.
So a game like this, a lot of ups, a lot of downs, a lot of lead changes, and just looking at the makeup of this game coming down to the wire and a lot of stoppage of clocks and stuff. How do you feel like just in general the game went in your mind, and in terms of the extended play due to the stopped clocks and a lot of fatigue? What was that like for you?
It was stressful, and it was a little bit of highs and lows, but I feel like we made a way, and we always have faith in each other. Faith is our biggest thing, and I just feel like even with highs or lows in a game, if you just continue to push through and keep your mind like at that point, you know that you got it.
And there were some times that maybe the game was a little bit unsettling with loose balls, players on the floor trying to grab loose balls, jump balls, turnover, stuff like that. In a situation like that, how are you trying as a leader on this team to just talk to your other players and try to get composed and get set back into your game plan in a situation like that?
A lot of the times I have my players come to me one-on-one, and we have I'll grab them and hey, focus, get your mind back into the game. It's not over yet, so yeah, we got the loose ball or you fouled or something, but the game's not over yet. So look at me, and we're going to breathe, and we're going to do this together.
So looking just at your performance, it looked like you were driving in, taking a lot of shots, getting some fouls, just overall sacrificing, drawing that foul for your team at times. How do you like the looks you got tonight, and some of the shots you got up looked pretty good just driving into the paint in general?
I like most of my shots. They're always going to be contested when you're playing in the post, but as long as you go up strong and at least try to finish, they're either going to foul you or you're going to get the basket.
I was talking to Coach Bartlett, too, sitting you a little bit to conserve your minutes because of foul trouble, obviously. You hate to see a player get fouled out, but just the nature of the game. How do you like the performance of the younger players that were on this team when you were on the bench, just conserving your minutes to keep you out of foul trouble in a sense?
They still have some work to do, but they kept their composure and they stayed in the game and they just kept playing and fighting. Even our JV players that had to come up because we're down 2 players, they really stepped up and played the game that they know they had to play. Everybody had a job and everybody did their job.
Yeah, and again, as a leader, seeing those young girls that doing so well in the situation I just mentioned, what is that like as a leader on this team to see that and they sort of know you're there if they have any questions or need help?
I always say that basketball is bigger than the game. So them talking and actually coming to me and, just everybody has a job once again. So them playing their part and just playing the game, it helps a lot.
So take me through a win like this in the Northwestern District and just how big a win like this is late into the season. Just take me through what the atmosphere was like in your mind and just the confidence you take moving forward.
Playing and winning a district game it's probably our biggest game of the season, honestly, between us, Shenandoah, and Hanley. And then just the atmosphere, people are going to yell, they're going to cheer. That's part of the game. So just playing through it and getting through it.
Jaliah, thanks so much for your time.
Thank you so much.
Coach Cary Bartlett joining me. 1-point game, getting the victory against James Wood. The game lasted quite some time in a game like that where you have a lot of emotion, a lot of ups, a lot of downs, a lot of lead changes. Just take me through it in your mind.
Both teams played very aggressive, so obviously there's a lot of fouls, a lot of stop clock. Told the girls before we got here, it's their senior night, electric crowd, district opponent, local opponent, rivalry game. So the expectation was that we were in for a dogfight, and I think that's exactly what we got.
And you mentioned the fouls, too. I know Jane fouled out. You were sort of conserving their minutes, and Jaliah as well. Was it because you were trying to keep them out of foul trouble in a sense? And how do you think with them out, your other players sort of stepped up when they weren't on the floor at the time?
Right. Well, early in the game when we get our 2 best players with early foul trouble, we do have to make some adjustments. I thought there was several girls tonight that stepped up that don't normally get those minutes, and they all did some big things. Bria Harrison hit that late 3 for us. That was a huge bucket. Mackenzie Jones, a drive and a score. Maya Parks with a turnaround to get us to within 3. Caden McCaskill off the JV team comes in and supplies some great defense. So everybody had a hand in it tonight, and sometimes it's not our star players that are going to do the damage. We need everybody to be involved, and tonight we had a lot of girls step up.
And to see those younger girls who don't really get the minutes get those minutes and perform in the realm of what your game plan, what you're expecting, how huge is that as you're getting into the late portion of the basketball season, getting ready to fight for a chance to get to the postseason in a sense?
Sure. Well, all those girls being able to step up, and that just expands our roster. We can conserve some minutes for other people, keeping people fresh, keeping them out of foul trouble, and having the trust to put those girls on the floor in big moments and know that they can still be successful. So later on in the game, it looked like Jaliah was maybe a little flustered with those missed free throw shots, but how, as a coach and the teammates just rallying by her, even though she did have that moment, just what does that mean to have her, even though you have her back, even though she missed like 1 or 2 free throws, because it seemed like they were crucial moments in the game, if you get what I mean? They were, but a lot of it has to do with fatigue as well, mental fatigue, physical fatigue, so that does play a part in some of those misses. But we have that never quit, never say die attitude. We talk about finding a way. And again, tonight we found a way. It was just a little bit different than most. So in a game like this, a lot of stopped clock and stuff in the game that's so long, extended out longer than normal in the fatigue there. How well do you think your team handled that? Because it looked like at times there were some tired stretches, but you bounced right back and do what Millbrook Pioneers basketball does best. We went through. I think I was told that there was one stretch where we went 9 straight possessions without even getting a shot off. So we did have some ruts and some erratic play. We kind of lost our mental side of the game at times.
throwing the ball away, being in a hurry, being sped up, things like that. But then other times we settled down and acted like we had composure. So, it's kind of a tale of two teams in one night.
Hurried basketball, you mentioned that. A lot of players on the floor, jump balls, loose balls, not really a rhythm to the game. How do you sort of analyze that aspect of the game? And was there anything you said or you changed to keep your players just settled back in, as we discussed before in previous interviews?
Yeah, we talked before the game that we couldn't have our energy and electricity up at the level that they were going to be at, that we needed to stay composed, show poise, things like that. So there were moments in the game where we didn't do that well, but that's also youth and inexperience. But, other times we just stepped up and we fought and clawed and, again, find a way. And sometimes that was a loose ball or, a rebound here or there, or, we just made a lot of different plays that, just show the grit and the toughness of our team.
Absolutely, the grit and toughness too, just finding a way to get that win. And in the Northwestern District, I overheard you all just screaming in the locker room with joy, a Northwestern District game. How huge is a win like this by a close margin against a crosstown rival mean for your girls this late in the season?
Obviously I think the girls are excited because it's a local rivalry, but for me as a coach, every game is equally important. First games in the middle of the season, end of the year. The ones at the end just get more magnified because of the situation, the standings, things like that. So the main thing is just stay where your feet are, and that means just stay in the moment and take care of the business that's at hand that night.
I hate to ask, but looking at the impending forecast, games getting moved and stuff, how do you keep your players focused, in check, based off maybe an unnatural routine with more maybe bad weather coming up soon?
Well, the good news is we've already experienced this once. We went an entire week without practice and then stepped right into a four-game week. So it's not, it's not going to be the end-all, be-all for us. I think the girls are prepared for that. They know how to respond to it. So, I take that as a positive for us. Then, we'll see what the weather brings. We'll just deal with it.
Big win for the Millbrook Lady Pioneers by 1 point coming down to the wire. Coach Cary Bartlett, can't thank you enough for your time.
Thanks as always.